Perfect.
Salute, and welcome. Welcome back to the Black Ocean. Now swimming in deep in with your host, the one and only Great Black Shark. And yes, you see what you're looking at on your screen here. We gonna have to deal with some Shillomania because it is Shillomania season. The Democrats, Jim Crow Joe Biden, and Kamala Harris, they're going to be going hard in the paint, and they're going to be sending out their little bootlicking flunkies, LGBT, tether class, our own Sambos from our tribe. Oh, they're going to be coming hard and heavy to tell all of you how great a job that the Democratic administration has been doing. Oh, they are coming. They are coming. Get ready. We are going to review a great deal of what they're already doing here tonight. So now that you have the gist of what tonight's broadcast will be about, there's a small bit of housekeeping that I need to address and take care of real quick. And this is going to be the only time I'm going to address it. So I'm going to make sure that I speak loud and clear. In fact, before I say this, can everyone hear me very clearly tonight? Everyone that has joined us. Give a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. I shall wait for confirmation because I want everyone to be absolutely clear on what I'm about to state. Over here in the chat room, wait to make sure that everybody can hear me. Okay. Looking. All right, I see D. Foster with the thumbs up. Everyone hear me okay? I see D. Foster says yes. I'm going to assume that everybody can. Okay, good, great. Okay, now that I'm sure that everyone can hear me, that means that anyone that catches this on the playback shall be able to hear me crystal clear as well. Let me address this to all of whom it may concern, okay? I'm not just talking about one individual. When it comes to anything that I do, and in fact, the business, anything that anybody does on the black grassroots, you got people, because they don't believe something, then they start throwing around all types of accusations. Let me tell you something about me. Anytime that I do something, and everybody, y'all probably already know this, people that work with me offline know this, but I'm not a guy that likes to make a spectacle of things. If I'm going to do something for a good cause, I'm not trying to make it about me. So a lot of times, especially when it comes to donating with something, I will do it anonymously. Okay? I'll do it anonymously. And I'm going to tell you why. A couple of years ago, this is a lesson that I learned. Now, I can't apply this to everybody. I'm just telling you what my experience has been. I used to contribute to a great deal, and I still do contribute to a great deal of things anonymously today. But I contributed the old-fashioned way. Put your stamp on everybody. See, I've had several occasions where because of the amounts that I donate, people claimed that I was trying to put on a show or make it all about me. So I said, okay, all right. Very weird, very odd thing. So I said, okay, I'll switch it up. I'll do it the other way. Donate anonymously. Then you'll get people coming out talking about, well, I don't believe you did this. I don't believe you did that. So now here's the lesson that taught me, family. With our community, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But here's my stance on things with anything that I do today. First and foremost, and I'm hoping everybody hear me loud and clear because I'm only going to address this one time. No one, online or offline, can snap their fingers and command me to do a goddamn thing, okay? I'm not a trained SEAL. I don't know who a lot of people think they're dealing with. You can't command me to do anything that I don't decide to do, okay? Let me make the second point. Your belief or disbelief in anything that I do, it is not required for me to do what I do, okay? I have a lot more influence offline than I do online, believe it or not. And I like to get things done efficiently and quietly, okay? You got a lot of people that like to run their mouths about things, especially when they're misinformed about things, okay? And then they start making all types of allegations. I'm going to tell you something right now. If you aiming any of that towards me, shit, you going to get ignored. I don't move and tit for tat, back and forth, all that bickering. It's more work to do out here than in any direction that you pick in. You can turn around 360 degrees. There's work to be done. Now, everybody, I know all of y'all know this. I'm just making this statement so everybody's clear on where I stand about things. So now, being that if you are aware of all the work that needs to be done in a community, you don't have time to be going back and forth with people. And y'all know I don't really make a habit of doing that. But when you address me by name, let me make something clear to everybody that it concerns. Again, this is not just one person. I'm making this clear to everybody it concerns. One of the worst things in the world for you to ever do is get my attention to the point that I have to focus on you. Because if I have to do that, that's going to be the worst mistake you've ever made. Okay? So now, this is a courtesy warning. You can take it however you want to take it. The people I'm talking to, they know who they are. All right? So this is the last time I'm going to address it. You go ahead and do whatever you want to do with this information, but go ahead and make me have to show you better than I can tell you. That's going to be fun for me. It's not going to be fun for you. Now that we've gotten that out the way, let me greet my esteemed guests in the chat room here that are joining us here tonight. Okay? Let's look up. I see Two Stay Woke in the building. I see Patricia Jenkins. I see Remnant Reanimated. Lakeisha Morehouse in the building. Michael Williams. Brother D. Foster, Reef the Watcher. Good sister Patricia Jenkins, I see you. Mrs. L. King Hazy, what's going on, my brother? Goddess Nav in the house. Devin Haley, I see you. Let's see. Extreme X, Artist Doucette. Greater Achievements _ MSC ×2. Brother Bruce in the house. Let's see. I see Blue J 3000. Let's see. Where else do I see? I see Creative World Films. I see Noah Randall. Dr. Monster Stroke. Oh, that's a hell of a name. That gets me every time I see it. Salute and welcome to all of you that will be joining us tonight. Family, I'm going to tell you something. Tonight's broadcast is going to make you sick to your stomach because over here, my audience is very well informed. And if you've been following not just me, but people that have larger channels than I, you already know that we finna get these Democrats hell because, see, when it comes to voting is supposed to be a business transaction for everybody in the country, including us, foundational Black American freedmen. But for some reason, when it comes to us, we're expected to cast our votes for the benefit of other people. Now, you know I've said it many times on this channel. If you wouldn't work for free, don't vote for free, okay? Whichever party you vote for, make sure it's tangibles on the table, all right? So tonight, we're going to get into a couple of things, and we're going to have some of the usual suspects over here, and we're going to analyze some of the rhetoric that they're going to be leveling, because you're going to see a lot more of this coming forward. So with that said, we're going to get started, and look, if you just eating, my apologies. Some of these shields are going to be disgusting and hard to look at. So we're going to go ahead and get underway.
We as Black people, and this is why I'm doing this segment, when a bunch of y'all watching and listening, and I say a bunch of y'all do this with Vice President Kamala Harris, but she ain't really black, you know, she Jamaican and she Indian. Well, ain't that something? Y'all claim Harry Belafonte as black, but he got Jamaican roots. You claim Colin Powell as a brother, but he got Jamaican roots. Oh, y'all love claiming Eric Holder, but he got Barbados roots. Oh, y'all love y'all some Kwame Ture, Stokely Carmichael. Greg, what's his roots?
I don't Trinidad and Tobago, brother.
Okay, so let me go ahead and get on the last king of chicken wings, Boule Martin here. See, this is something that we're going to have to deal with going forward. And most of you are very well about handling this business, but we're going to have to make sure we don't let up. What he's trying to do in rolling is a tether, and most of them up there are tethers. What they're trying to do is say, that's the you foundational Black American freedmen, you hate all people that are not of your lineage. No. Y'all can keep trying that gaslighting all you want. The only ones we have issue with are those that undermine us, the black immigrants or anybody, okay? That's it. That's the only ones we have an issue with. Now, these people that he's naming, some of them have not been a benefit to the black community. And the ones that were, we accepted them as our brother because they set an example that the Roland Martins and the other Tills are not setting today. So let's just go ahead and clear that now. But I'm going to let this Boule meatball right here continue with his babble because I'm not finished with him by sight.
Trinidad and Tobago.
Trinidad and Tobago. So,
yeah.
So I'm just saying that as black people, we got to be real careful when we literally start using the language of the oppressors against our own in order to placate them and make them comfortable. That's why I did the segment, because it's a lot of us who do that, who then begin to change how we talk and how we act and how we walk. Don't you do that, the white folks are watching. What's wrong with you? You can't come in here and do that. What the white folks gonna say?
Look, this.
So now you heard that big milk dud head clown, okay, the Boule buffet master. Roland, let me tell you something, Roland. And those like you, all your little shield buddies. You will not dictate terms to foundational Black American freedmen or our own cold Black immigrant brothers and sisters that have sense enough to see that the Democratic Party has damn near sent this country into the toilet bowl of hell. You got people that are hardcore Democrats that are starting to see that now, of all nationalities, okay? But our particular community, those of us with sense that have enough, y'all know where I'm going, those of us with sense that look at policy and numbers, we don't play them games, okay? If you're not coming with tangibles, then, hey, we'll just withhold our vote or take that vote to whoever is offering tangibles. And I'm going to say it one more time. If you won't work for free, you should not vote for free. Let me take a time to do something that I rarely ever do, but sometimes you have to go the extra mile when you're addressing these things. Let me talk particularly to the hardcore Democrats. We call y'all bisexuals because we try to tell you. You can't deny, if you look at things for what they are in terms of policy, numbers, your personal situation, what's going on in the communities around you, there's no way you can look at all of that and say that this Democratic administration is doing a good job. You can't do that in good faith. There's no way you can. There's no way you can. So I want you to keep that in mind as we go to listen to this goofball right here. And yes, he's a feather duster fairy boy, okay? Jason Lee in full shield mode. I'm going to go ahead and let him get started.
This past weekend, I went to the vice president's house for the hip-hop 50th anniversary hip-hop party at her house. And I took this picture, you've seen it, but it wasn't the picture that I want to talk about. It's the video that's been seen around the world that I took. This video right here, if you've seen it. Okay, so there's that video. Now, I shared that video of the vice president. I took that video of the vice president and I posted it in a way that everybody would still not give me credit because I didn't want the credit. What I wanted was for the world to see it, and 20 million views later, it's clear that you have. I've been looking at all the comments over the last couple of days of everybody that's had stuff to say, from white folks to Republicans to black people to white people, about what black people should feel about it. I've been looking at all the comments, and my only question is, why do y'all hate her so much? Why do y'all hate her so much? What has Kamala Harris done to you that's made you hate her so much?
Let's go ahead and address that question for Sassy Boy Lee here, okay? Not only is this something that we're going to have to make clear when any political party is dealing with, whether it's Republican, Democrat, whatever, they address us as if we're children, okay? They don't talk to other groups that have questions or have concerns or bring up things and that they're not satisfied with as far as when it comes to them trying to get their vote. And the only thing we're supposed to do, according to the Democrats, hey, I'm coming out here dancing and jiggling in front of you, and I like he planned all that about it, went to that party. All right, now that I'm done with that, it's time for you to vote for me. Well, what are we gonna get in exchange? Don't worry about that, nigga. Just go ahead and do your job and vote. No, those days are long gone. The only black people in the community that's going to work on are the boomer class that just hadn't figured it out. I'm not going to put them all in that category because some of them are tired of it too. Okay? And salute to them. Jason Lee, what you're going to have to understand is this. We're not enamored with somebody's cult of personality. We're not enamored with what dances they do, songs they sing, what HBCU they went to. We're looking at, what are you doing tangible for our group? That's it. It is business, not personal. So when they keep talking about hate, see, you talk to a child like that, you hate me. If you criticize them, oh, you hate them. It's not about hate. For those of us with sense, it's about business. Now, some people may feel that way, but they got good reason to if you're looking at her political record and what she's done to our community. However, she's not the president. Our focus is mostly on Jim Crow Joe senile ass. And the way the greater majority of the Democrat Party chooses to treat our people, Jason Lee. But see, you, and I think his mother is Thai or something like that. I think he's a tether. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong in the chat room. Either way, tether and you over there on the off-code sassy side of the game. Notice I said off-code sassy side. Not just that you over there and you in that alternative lifestyle. That's not the issue. The issue is you off-code when it comes to business that affects the future of our people. We don't have time to play games. We're in the hour of our history right now. This is do or die for Black America. So all this foolishness you talking about, somebody hating somebody, nah, that's you on that childish mindset. And see, Black America is going to put a stop to that, dealing with us like we're children when it's time to talk political business. Let's let this clown continue.
She grew up in Oakland, California, which is not an easy city to grow up in, as a mixed biracial child, which I could tell you as a mixed breed, it ain't easy. She became an attorney. She became a female attorney general in California, working under a Republican administration. She then went on to become a state senator that we all love because she was in their ass about stuff over there on the Hill, and then got elected as the first female and the first Black female vice president of the United States. And somehow she ain't shit. She ain't.
Okay, let me stop him again. See, people like this, it would not do for them to be in conversation with me because I wouldn't insult them, wouldn't curse them out or nothing. Let me tell you how you handle this. And I know y'all get it, but when I say tell you how you handle this, I'm speaking more to the younger Black people that may not be well-informed or experienced enough to know how you deal with this. He named all those so-called accomplishments that she got, and we all know how she got most of them. Low down Willie Brown helped her. She slept her way to the top. These are not lies. They are facts. Okay? Leaving that to the side, though. Let's toss that out off the table. Bring up this when you're talking to people that speak like him about any politician, not just Kamala. Let's talk about their record. All personal feelings to the side. Let's talk about their political record towards our community. Let's talk about that. Their political record towards our community. This ain't about liking or disliking. This is business. So if we look at her record towards our community, all this stuff you babbling about, that's not a benefit to us, Jason Lee, with your little confused ass. And I'm not talking about your sexuality. Because see, look, boy, I'm going to mention it because I started to put it in tonight's broadcast, but I thought that might be a little bit harsh. And believe it or not, sometimes I do try to tone down what I bring to you all, but I'm going to mention it so that you can look it up for yourselves. Dr. John Henry Clark talked about this. Now, what's the diss I'm referring to? Dr. John Henry Clark did a speech upon which he was talking about writing a book, but he could never bring himself to do it. And the speech was entitled, The Role of the Bastard in World History. Now, what was the bastard he was talking about? Because he was not just talking about illegitimate children had out of wedlock. Dr. Clark was talking about from the historical standpoint of when people have biracial heritage, and this isn't making you a bad person if you biracial. You can't help how you're born, but you can help how you think and how you act towards your people. I give you an example. Look at the African slave trader Tipu Till. African mother, Arab father. He was one of the biggest enslavers over there in East Africa. He hated his mother's people. Okay? So now when it comes to you, Mr. Jason Lee, you would be one of those bastards in world history that Dr. Clark referenced. See, I started putting that whole speech in here, but I was like, that might be too much. Y'all can look that up for yourself if you haven't heard it. So see, when it comes to this, all of this you got going on, yeah, you getting tangibles. You in the LGBTQ community. And I don't have a problem with them getting tangibles, but what about ours? All this playing double dutch and hopscotch in and out of blackness, we're not having that because those of us, most of us that are Foundation of Black American Freedom, we can't do that. We're black all the time, not selectively. Let's let him continue because he got a lot more to say.
Shit. She locked up all the black men in California. Really? When I read, she's doing nothing for the culture. She's doing nothing for black people. Really? She's bad for the White House. She's taking us backwards. We're gonna vote for Trump. Okay. Really? One, y'all don't want to eradicate the police department for people giving tickets to you for speeding in a 25-mile zone. You don't get mad at the police. You get mad at the lawmaker because the police didn't make the law that says you can't drive faster in that area. Yet, as Attorney General, for enforcing the 3 strikes law that was created by Pete Wilson, who was a white racist in California, makes her the bad guy. Half of y'all that talk about
No, that don't make her the bad guy. No, it don't, Jason. What makes her the bad guy, Jason Lee, is this. Family, I'm a Gen Xer. No, we starting to get a little bit old now, okay? So I'm going to need y'all help with this because, maybe I'm just imagining it. Maybe, I got it wrong. But I seem to recall something that was mentioned and hadn't come into legal fruition yet called the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. Oh, did I say those words? Family, am I hallucinating? Did I just imagine that? Did I just make that up? And what would does anybody in my chat room right now remember a certain thing called the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act? Does anybody remember it? Because I seem to remember that. I have a question to ask my esteemed audience gathered here tonight. Family, what happened to that? What happened to it? Has anybody seen it? Did I miss something here? Because I mean, look, we Gen Xers are getting old now. I might not have it right. Maybe somebody can enlighten me. What happened to the George Floyd Justice and Police Act? Did anything come of that? Have any of you seen it in my chat room? Have you? Oh, looking at my chat, yeah, dead on arrival. It's a rumor. Yeah, oh, yeah. See, exactly, Project Leroy. Kamala said that at Tyree Nichols' funeral. She mentioned it. Yes, she did. Now, it's all fine and good to mention things, but when you mention things, they should come into fruition when you hold positions of power. See, family, let me tell you something that I want to see Black society mature to politically. I want y'all to start taking politics, whatever decision you make, start taking that personal when these people lie to you or lie to us, because I'm a part of the collective. Take it personal as if somebody shorted you on your paycheck. Take it personal as if, let me go here with it. I want to put this in language that everybody understands. Take it personal as if you found your brother or sister sleeping with your significant other. Oh, yeah, it's got to be consequences behind that, right? See, political punishment is something that we're going to have to introduce these bastards to, because they think, look, y'all, you know what? While I'm talking, hold on. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat. Y'all know what I'm about to do. Oh, yeah, you know what I'm about to do. When it comes to us, United States citizens, taxpayers, let me go ahead and put this in the chat. Foreignassistance.gov. Oh, yeah, I'm putting it in here 3 times. For those that are not familiar with that website, oh, yeah. You go on there and look at how much of our taxpayer dollars they spending overseas, then right here in front of our face with these damn migrants. And we're going to get to that tonight, too. So our vote is supposed to benefit everybody except for us. And this little sassy, saucy fool is sitting up here whining about people having legitimate grievances against Kamala Harris. See, Jason, when I see people like you, it's one thing to be a shield and know that, but don't attempt to make an intelligent argument by gaslighting somebody, because you make yourself look very stupid and incompetent. We're talking about these policies, things that we can all see in this country that affect us. And it's the fault of the Democrats, the ones you caping for. If you're going to come with an argument, you need to talk about facts, not feelings. Because all of this he's talking about how he feels about her. To hell with that. I'm not trying to be friends with no politician, Democrat or Republican. The only thing I care about and the only thing we should care about is, what are you going to do for our community? That's it. After that, I don't give 2 shits what you do. I don't care if you don't like me. It's not about like, it's about business. Let's let it continue.
Politics, don't vote. The other half don't understand how the law works. And those of you that are talking about the 3 strikes law don't even live in California. So you don't even know how our laws work. Then you say she's not doing enough for the country. She's not the president. She's the vice president. But when you look at what the president is doing, he's done a lot for the country. He just ain't on TV every day talking about it. Why don't you know? Because their teams aren't communicating the best and we're not paying attention the most. But what I will say,
No, Jason. You don't get away with that. No, Mr. Lee. No. See, notice this. I want to point out a pattern to y'all, because I know the older people ain't get it, but I'm speaking primarily to the younger people. When they keep telling you, oh, the president done so much, oh, they're doing everything, they're doing this and that. Why don't they name specific policies and show how that has benefited our community? Now, no minorities or people of color, none of that. Start naming some things that we be like, see, y'all missed that. You can see it. Because see, look, here's the thing. If you're doing so much and everything is so great, you don't need to tell everybody. Everybody can see that. I'm going to make a contrast here. When Trump was in office, where my fellow business owners at? We saw how, listen, like I said, I ain't got to like nobody. I know the difference in my bottom line back then. Okay. There was a lot that was done to help us. We didn't see all this crazy inflation. And see, let me point out an act of treason. I'm going to call it just what it is. to go show you how asinine this clown is here. Because at this point, all this stuff he's talking about, it's like it's a child talking. If you are dealing with a situation where you got inflation, why in the hell are you opening the floodgates to allow all these damn illegal aliens over here? That's insane. If your house is in short supply of resources, how you gonna bring extra people in to drain them? That makes no sense. Let this buffoon keep babbling.
Is that when I looked at all the commentary of Kamala's dancing at the White House, at the vice president's party, it really disappointed me. There was a lot of great comments, like Black Twitter, a lot of great comments, people saying Auntie Kamala, and this is the Kamala we want to see. And I've told the vice president, I've told her team, this is what people want to see. But it was the racist, white supremacist uprooting of hatred towards a black woman that I saw from the right, and the complicit behavior of sleep black folks who were participating in it that disappointed me. Now, as a black gay entrepreneur, when white people hate on me or tell me I'm not ready or not big enough or this or that or whatever, or they minimize who I am, it is what it is. I take it on the chin and I keep killing it. But when black hate happens, it hurts more. It hurts more when black people hate on you. Black folks have an epidemic in its culture and community in the United States that
again, it's not hate when people are criticizing you and talking about policies and economics. It's not hate. Notice, again, I must point this out. They do not talk like this to any other group. See, family, if you address some of these people publicly, you're going to have to start saying that, all of us, with a loud voice. Cut them off. Hey, you don't talk to Asians, Hispanics, East Indians, Arabs, etc., like that. You're not going to talk to us like children. This is business, and you're going to speak to us in business language. If not, have a nice day. We can't take you seriously. I want you to hear what he's about to say next, though, because this is the part that got me.
We need to understand that is the inferiority complex to white people and whiteness and self-hate in the black community. Some of y'all niggas don't like Kamala Harris just simply because she's great.
Did you hear him? And salute to Spencer Monroe for the cash out. Did you hear him? Some of y'all niggas. Oh, boy. Woo, that little tie and white side jumped out, didn't it, Jason? Some of you niggas. That's niggas, huh? Jason, I have a question for you. If you want to talk to someone about politics and persuade them to your side, it would behoove you to address those people with respect and stop talking to people like they don't have no knowledge. Stop talking to people like they're not living in this country and being affected by the bad decisions that are being made by this current administration. But see, if you're not going to do that, then you're showing yourself to be a paid bootlicking shield that can't be taken seriously. See, that check is on the line. They done sent them all out there and told them, listen, you better get these niggas in line. Got news for you. Gonna be a different ball game come 2024. Let's let it continue.
Some of y'all niggas talk about you don't like her and don't support her, but you ain't done nothing to research her agenda or what she's doing. The white folks, when they saw her dancing at this party, it was only a 3.5-hour party, by the way, celebrating the global impact of hip hop during its 50th anniversary. The white folks say, why was the border czar partying with the rappers? And then black folks would have been saying, if she didn't do it, why she ain't acknowledging black music and the impact it's had on culture?
We don't need a politician to address a damn thing about music. She's a politician, not an entertainer. Even though she is a big joke, the entire administration is a big joke. But your job is to get political affairs in order. That secures the country and benefits everybody in the country, especially our group. That's what we need her to do. You're the entertainment flunky, Jason. That's your lane. You stay in that lane. Leave the politician in hers. We're not going to conflate the two. No matter how much you shills try. That's over. That's over. We do not want entertainers addressing us about political issues. We do not want politicians attempting to entertain us when they should be discussing political issues. The line in the sand is clear. We're not going to let it get blurred at all. Let's let them continue.
How is Kamala Harris the second most powerful person in the world, yet nothing she does is good enough? Nothing she does is good enough. Everything she does is bad to white folks, and sometimes what she does ain't good enough for blacks. I'm confused.
Blacks? There it is. Where have I told y'all about that? Blacks, the blacks. Yes, he proving that he closer to them folks than us. And when she hadn't done a damn thing but symbolism, you damn right we're going to have some criticism. You're an elected official. As long as we're taxpaying citizens, you work for us. If you don't do your job right, we got the right to fire your ass. Okay? That's how that is. That's how politics work in this country. Gone are the days of just getting votes from black people for free. That's changing. Let this clown continue.
Black people, you need to go look in the mirror and ask you, why do you hate us so much? Why do you hate each other so much? I've never hated on anybody. I may give an opinion. I may be critical of a person's performance or something. I can say I don't like a person, but I respect their work, or I respect their work, but don't like them. I know how to differentiate it, but at least I do my research and pay attention. What are you doing? How is it that the vice president dancing to vibrant, how did that not make you say, damn, she's human? So let me go ahead and look into what she's doing so I can support her a little more.
Listen to how you sound, you damn fool, you. Why in the hell would someone dancing in either political party, why is that supposed to be something that makes us look at them? Oh, she did a dance. Let me go check her out. No. Bitch, what have you done policy-wise that affects this economy first and foremost? What you doing about these race soldiers, huh? That's running up on our people. Which is why our brother Otha Wallace is in prison right now. Because a race soldier ran up on him feeling like they had the right to assert themselves on this man when he was at his home. Where's that George Floyd Justice Police name, huh? Where is it, Kamala, Joe Biden, and all the rest of you flunkies? See, notice how they don't ever hold them to account. You don't even hear them talking about it. You don't even hear them bringing it up, saying, hey, where's that at? When we gonna get that rolling? Because, see, they're not for black people. They think they're other and apart from us until them people turn on them. Then all of a sudden they find their blackness and want to come run over here. But see, let me tell y'all something. It's a new day with that. We've long been a very compassionate and forgiving people. But you will not be allowed to do that with impunity anymore. If you over there shilling with them folks, you better stay over there when they turn on you. Because they always break their tools. It's coming. All of you going to get your wake-up call. And just like you chastising us now and you're not really concerned about the welfare of our people, we're not going to be concerned about what they do to you. You on your own. You better hope that you can find a way to keep yourself useful because your time always comes. Whether they shields on the left or the right, they always get their wake-up call. Everything he's saying, he's not politically informed on a damn thing. Notice he's not mentioning any relevant issues. He's just talking about personal feelings. Stay in your entertainment lane, Jason. That's what you need to do.
Because those of you saying you don't like Kamala, Those of you saying that you don't like Kamala and are going to vote for Trump mean that you don't care about gay rights, you don't care about trans rights, you don't care that they believe that Muslims, or at least Trump believed that Muslims were terrorists, you don't care that women shouldn't have the right to abortion, you don't care about voter rights, you don't care about none of that because your little $300 stimulus that Trump gave you was more important than supporting a black woman to be successful. I'm riding for Kamala.
Yes, you silly bastard. Money is more important than that stupid shit you talking about to the average American citizen of any race. Yes, you're right. You can be a little fanboy / fangirl, however you identify. Grown adults are worried about what's going on in the countries for the economy. That's what the issue is for us. See, he told the truth about something. He said he was confused. You are. Because those like you live in a fantasy land. Everything is about being entertained. You don't focus on anything that's relevant to real life. The rest of us don't live that way. And we refuse to live that way. Democrats in trouble. No amount of shilling is going to change that. The only way for them to change their political situation, you better start doing right by your constituency, which is primarily black people that got you in the office. You don't have to, though. You don't have to. Hard head make a soft ass. And we got our boots laced up. Like they always tell us, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps. Well, it's about to be more than some bootstraps getting launched in some direction of some Democratic asses, politically. It's political punishment time, Jason. There's nothing you can do to turn that around. Just let them continue.
I'm asking all my supporters to do it, and I challenge anybody that don't like her to tell me why. Drop it below and let's argue. Keep going, Kamala. Woo!
Tonight on the podcast.
Now, you heard that silly bastard, right? With all that foolishness you were talking about, he didn't mention not none type of policy, didn't mention anything that they should be doing, didn't mention anything that they promised they was gonna do and just threw to the wayside, nothing. Everything was about his feelings. Well, we about to get into something that's not about feelings because our good brother Philip Scott here recently did a podcast talking about our good old friends, the Democrats. Oh, see, Jason Lee didn't mention none of this that Brother Phil is about to bring up. Because, see, these things right here that we're about to examine, this is what matters to Black America right now. Let's get into it.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get into two different clips tonight. One out of Chicago, and oh, brace yourself for that one, and one out of New York. Now, we know Chicago and New York has been cities that a lot of people that have come from south of the border has been shipped to, and it's been causing issues and problems for those particular cities. And shout out to New York and Chicago. There's a lot of good people in those cities. Every time I go to any of these cities where the brothers and sisters are at, I always get love when I go. So we had one of our brothers send us these actual clips, and appreciate Brother James for that. He went to AfricanDiasporaNews.org. We have a contact form. You can fill out a contact form. You can send us links. You can send us pictures, things like that. Because when you tell me something, give me a link. Give me some sort of evidence that we can look this stuff up and let me know what's going on. That's the best way to get in contact with us. AfricanDiasporaNews.org. And you have the contact form there. Utilize it. Just like last night, Jason Lee. You know, Sister Demetria passed that particular link on to me. Of course, she's not going to use the form. She has direct access. But on this first clip, what we're going to get into is Chicago. Well, you know, a lot of you brothers and sisters in Chicago are struggling, right? You're struggling. You're trying to make ends meet. You're paying taxes. I know you see the title. Well, I want you to listen to this. Now, do any of you in the city of Chicago who could be listening, are you getting paid $135 an hour? Not a day, an hour? Let's roll that.
Voices obtained by NBC5 Investigates show employees of a private company, Favorite Staffing, which run the city's migrant shelters, have made at least $135 an hour, in some cases more. In one invoice, a facility manager made $14,000 in a week in December.
Okay, let me just stop for a second. $14,000 a week this man was making. Some of you don't even make that in even half a year in Chicago.
Another invoice shows a nurse earned more than $20,000 in 1 week. Those figures do account for overtime.
To see invoices like that are disgusting. They're outrageous, and they should be cause for an immediate investigation.
Do you have an accounting for all the dollars are going?
No, we haven't been. And I think that's the big concern that came up today was that we're willing to accept federal dollars. We're willing to give dollars to these issues, but we need to see where every penny is spent.
NBC5 Investigates filed public records requests 3 months ago. So far, we've received just 2 invoices, contracts, and a spreadsheet showing since October, the city has spent at least $83 million on companies and organizations that provide care to the 13,000 migrants now in Chicago.
As you saw, ladies and gentlemen, $83 million of your tax dollars went for the care of just 13,000 people, when yet the city of Chicago has millions of people there, and at least in the city and the surrounding areas, right, that needs to be taken care of. The homeless population in Chicago is majority Black American, and they're not getting any of these $83 million of funds. But let's continue.
Alderman.
Now, before we get further than this, CC, over here, in these spaces, we like to focus on policy and numbers. I keep saying it all the time. I want to drill that into everybody's head to the point that you hear it when you asleep. Like, damn, GBS, policy and numbers. You damn right. Because that's all that matters. Now, you heard what our good brother Philip Scott just reported on. Now, Mr. Jason Lee was telling us, or he asked us rather, why do some people take issue with Kamala Harris? Even though he was speaking like a child using the word hate. She's supposed to be the border czar. Now, if you wanted people to be sold for Kamala, or if she wanted to ingratiate herself to the people, hell, she could show a backbone and say, hey, Joe, we can't do this. Look what you're doing to these people. Our citizens. These people are not citizens. $83 million on 13,000 people? When the hell they spent $83 million on 13,000 Black people in Chicago, huh? That's homeless. When the fuck they do that? Oh, that pisses me off, man. Y'all know I made available to you what the total cost of all this illegal immigration is in all 50 states. I definitely have it on my Patreon. In fact, the business, I just may put that on the community tab again so that you all can go through that file for yourself. It'll be on page 44 of it when I do post it. But see, this is one good reason why people ain't fooling with Kamala. She tries to duck every serious issue. Look, I don't put it past her. I'm not angry at her for that because she's proven that she's an opportunist. That's all her political career has been, is being an opportunist. When she was running against Joe Biden and bringing up all the stuff about him, oh, Joe Biden bad, just all his stuff, all he had to do was offer the bitch a vice presidency seat, and she just jumped right on board and forgot all about all that other stuff. That show you dealing with a damn snake. And people can see that. We're going to get back to talking about some of these policies and numbers that are affecting all of our people, though. Let it continue.
Voted Thursday to accept another $33 million in federal money, but raised some concerns that it comes without knowing where the current dollars are being spent. Something we asked Mayor Brandon Johnson about. Can you and your administration commit to being more transparent and release some of the documents that have been withheld?
So let me just make sure that you're clear and everybody else is clear here. Every single Monday, there's a conversation with alders who are part of a working group. Every Friday, there's an email that is sent so all the alders could see it. We have released information providing the details of the fact that when we appropriated the first $51 million, I was the person that said that the vast majority of it went to staffing. Now, if you're looking for some more specific items, what you want to know about, like how much this costs for spoons or forks, I just want you to be very clear.
None of it should be being spent on their asses. If you had any backbone and you was for your constituency and the American public, you would be against that, saying, hey, you can't send them over here. My people are full. I got homeless black people and other citizens I need to do things for in my city. You can't send them here. I'm going to oppose it. See, this little sellout bastard right here with his little beady out ass, because see, this pisses me off. He would get more respect from the people if at this press conference he came before everybody and said, listen, y'all voted me in to do a job for the people of my city. I'm not being able to do it because the Democratic Party is not cooperating with me. They're trying to flood us with immigrants. So therefore, instead of going along with it, I resign. That would show people that, hey, you know what? He's saying if he's not gonna be able to do what he's saying, he's not don't stay there. That would show you who the problem is. But see, he's not gonna do that though, because he's comfortable. See, his family is cool. He ain't got to worry about none of the issues and problems that the citizens up there in Chicago got to worry about right now with this migrant crisis. Nah, that's not at his front door yet. Not yet. But he want to come before you and tell you, see, y'all know me when it comes to anything dealing with economics. I'm listening to this guy, and most of you probably will be listening, but particularly you young people, this is how you should view that. That's your taxpayer dollars. Not one dime of it is supposed to be spent on them. Unless you deporting their ass up out of here. They shouldn't have been allowed to come up there anyway. That's one thing I'll say that most of the red states are not going to play. We're not going to have no migrant crisis in no red states. Oh, no. That's one thing I'll give Republicans credit for. They're not having that shit. They busting them to these Democratic states and cities. I'm going to let this continue, though. I want y'all to hear this beady-eyed bastard here because, see, family up there in Chicago, y'all got business to take care of. Y'all got to get him out of there.
That we have released a very detailed response of how we are dealing and addressing this humanitarian endeavor. If you're asking for us to do it on a more regular basis, of course we can do that.
Well, ladies and gentlemen that live in Chicago, as you heard, they're getting $33 million from the federal government to help with those costs of 13,000 people. I think the $33 million should be going to the citizens of Chicago. But yet, this is the policy of the Democrat Party. You see, if these Democrat mayors actually had a backbone and say, we're not spending city funds for anything. These people come over here, they on their own. They on their own. I was elected by the citizens of Chicago to take care of them. These people did not vote for me. They're not people I'm obligated to take care of. Listen, I hear their stories. I hear it, but I'm not obligated to do anything. I have to take care of the citizens first. And then once all the citizens are taken care of and they got all the services they need, we got a homeless population out here that is about to get ice cold and snow out here in Chicago. And I have a homeless population that I have to get off the streets and get them some sort of shelter. We got to do this. We got to take those funds to do this. I don't have time for that. Now, they can go to somewhere else with that. They got states like Montana and Idaho and Wyoming and all these places that don't have many people at all. They can go there. Why are they coming here? See, if you had a backbone, that's what you would say, because that would be the right thing. And then if you had a backbone, you would tell even the Democrat Party, hey, we're not a sanctuary city anymore. So if you come here, don't expect not a single service. We're not helping you. Matter of fact, we're going to actually take you and drop you off over there with the federal government at they building. And you can stay over there. You're not staying here in our police stations. You're not taking our services. It's just not happening. Because what's going to happen is Brandon Johnson is going to be a one-term mayor too. See, these Democrat people do not care about the political life of Brandon Johnson. They want to use him just as much as they're using Mayor Adams. The only difference with Mayor Adams is that Mayor Adams is starting to speak out now, and the Democrats are angry with him now.
Now, let me pause my good brother Phil right here because, see, he brought up a very good point. Anytime, and I've said this many times over the years, anytime they put the first black anywhere or they put a black person in a position, when it comes to politics especially, see it in corporate America, but we're talking about politics now. They put you up there to do things that they know are going to displease the majority of the masses in that particular state or city. And then when it comes time for the blame, hey, that wasn't one of us. You that black person, you voted for him. And those flunkies are too stupid to realize that they're useful idiots. Then when they get their wake-up call, they want to come running back to black society. But no, the gate is closed on that. These are grown people, not children. So if they don't have common sense enough to recognize when they're being used, then we must assume that, okay, you went along with the program. So when they turn on you, don't complain.
For even dare speaking out about what's going on. Now, Brandon Johnson, he didn't speak out against the situation as of yet. I guess he's not up to his neck with it, right? But you're seeing what the priority of the Democrat Party is. Taking your tax dollars in the millions of dollars and using it on other people. That has been the Biden policy. Taking American tax dollars and using it on everyone else except the American people. They talk about the infrastructure deal and all of that, inflation reduction, but yet you're giving $80 billion to the Internal Revenue Service. That doesn't help people at all. I sure can take $80 billion and do a lot of good with it for people. You understand? Hell, $80 billion, shoot, you should have gave somebody, people who's struggling, shoot, give them another stimulus. That kind of help people. People would love to get another stimulus, right? What if you say, hey, people that got children, something like that, let's go ahead on and spread that out to those people. Let's help with daycare costs instead of giving $80 billion to the freaking Internal Revenue Service. Now, even though upsetting as that video is, and it is upsetting that people are getting paid $20,000 a week. Some people is not even making that in a year sometime. And yet these people getting paid $10,000, $135 an hour. You know what? You should be telling Brandon Johnson in Chicago, hey, brother, where do I sign up for them jobs? I'll go work that job for $135 an hour. Hell yeah, sign me up. I'll go over there. Because that's where all the money at, right? A lot of money's over there. So y'all should be at the next city hall meeting and Brandon Johnson there. And every person who knows this information now that got put out, you should be going in at that meeting. You should be telling Brandon Johnson, hey, Mayor Johnson, where do I sign up for that job that's paying $135 an hour? Because, hey, I got to take care of my family too. So I go do it. Where do I sign up at? Because I need that. Because all my tax dollars are going over there. So at least let me go over there and make $135 an hour. Y'all should be doing that. Just as much how these folks going to school board meetings acting a freaking fool about some stupidity. Y'all should be at that city council meeting and going in about all y'all tax dollars with this situation.
Brother Phil is absolutely correct. And see, let me tell you what else is going to have to be done with this. When this is straightened out, whether it's by getting these mayors out of office, or I'm going to say what's going to make all the bisexuals cringe and everybody just, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. I'm about to say something that's going to go ahead and make them hide up under their beds because, they think he's the boogeyman. If Donald Trump gets back in and happens to fix all of this shit, yes, I said it. Yes, I said it, damn it. Because this wasn't going on when that man was in office. I don't give a damn what you think about it. He wasn't letting them all in here. He had a stay in Mexico policy. They couldn't just come running up here like this, all over the place. What's going to have to be done, though, once a hold is gotten on it? First, and I'm saying it with no apologies, aggressive deportation. We need a good 20 years of that. Let's get that rolling. Then, now that you've seen how it's affected you in these different cities, Chicago, New York, California, all these different places where they're shipping them, what's going to have to be done? That sanctuary city bullshit has to go. It's going to have to be policies put in place to say, okay, we're not going to ever have this happen again. These are the things that need to start being spoken at these city council meetings now when they have them. Because, see, you can't sustain a nation like this. It's impossible. So those are some of the things that's going to have to be done, man, once it's all straightened out. And I think people will be motivated by now because, see, everybody's guilty of this. When people are comfortable, you don't tend to worry about things. Oh, man, I'm just going to get up, go to my job, man. Hey, that ain't got nothing to do with me. Y'all, we've all heard people talk like that. But then when something swims up and bites you in the ass, now it got your attention. So once it's straightened out, you have to make sure that it can never happen again. And the way to do that is to put your foot on their neck and make them get them policies right that prevent it from being happening again anywhere in America. Let's let it continue.
It's going to take the people taking a stand against these bureaucrats who's just bleeding dry the taxpayer and say, no, you're not going to do this. They should not be, because see, it's one thing just to complain about it, but y'all have to actually go to the city council meetings, go, when they're campaigning, you have to say, hey, this is not going to be the deal. You have to do that. Now, what's even more disgusting than this information that just came down the wire here, and shout out to NBC Chicago for putting that out.
You know what? Let me pause it real quick because, see, I'm going to throw something out here that I think everybody should consider. We see what's happening in the cities where they done flooded them up there, right? Okay. Hindsight is 2020. They there. Now that's a problem. Here's what I wish would have happened. And here's what I hope people will start to do if they're thinking about flooding them your way next. All the major city workers should say, hey, if you do this to us, we're going on strike. I mean, look, sometimes you got to suffer to make a statement to these bastards. If every major important worker in that city said, no, you let even one or two in this motherfucker, 10, shutting it down, shutting the whole city down. See, you got people in this country that do have that power. Your truckers, okay, because I don't care how I get here, plane, boat, train, a truck brings it to your door some one way, shape, or form or another. Truckers shut it down. Hey, your garbage people shut it down. I'm talking about the people that have the jobs that's essential for a city to run. See, in America, you've been fooled, the average person in society, to think you don't have no power. Yes, the hell you do. Because if you just say, hey, ain't nothing moving, what they gonna do? They're gonna have to be like, hey, whoa. They'll come to the table with some sense then. Sometimes you got to play hardball with these people, man. Because this shouldn't happen nowhere in America. We the only country on the planet where you can just flood illegal aliens over here and then take care of them with the taxpaying citizens' dollars. You don't see that nowhere else on the planet but here. Let's let it continue.
Remember, Mayor Adams has said that the city, as people know it, won't be the same, that New York will be destroyed. He admitted that. The Democrats were very angry with him for saying that. Angry. Instead of helping him fix it, they were angry because Mayor Adams should be taking the brunt of all their policies and shutting up and not saying a word. Now, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and all the other Democrats went to do a press conference in New York to speak about what's going on over there. And the people of New York, they showed up. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here with Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and members of our delegation as well as.
Yeah, I know plenty of y'all probably saw this clip. But a lot of people didn't say what I'm about to say. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you right now, what I'm about to say is going to be very offensive, and I don't give a damn who it offends. I really don't. Particularly to our community. And I'm even talking to white people that's got some sense this time. I rarely ever do that, but this time I am. You got too many of them in office that have something in common with these goddamn illegal aliens. Yes, I said it. I went right there. Both of them are American on paper. They come from an immigrant background. How in the hell are you going to fix a leak under a sink until you turn the goddamn water off? I'm going to be even more blunt with my statement. I don't care how offensive it is. I'm not in the business of coddling people's feelings. How you going to put them in office when they're showing more loyalty and allegiance to people that are not citizens of this country because they identify with them because they are them? Just because you let them get citizenship on paper doesn't mean they give a damn about this country. See, one thing I will say, between black society and white society, with all our differences that we have a vested interest in this country because we had a hand in building it. Primarily my people. Okay, you hear the white folks always talking about how patriotic they are, how much they love the country. I can't tell. Because, see, white people think they were slick. You go and put these white Hispanics in office. You remember Jim Crow Joe? You all going to have to get more used to working with Hispanics now. See, this is what he meant. And see, for those of you bisexuals that don't listen to us over here in these spaces, when we tell you something, we know what the hell we're talking about. We saw this shit coming in advance. Plenty of us tried to tell y'all, this is what you're going to be looking at. Oh, no, but what was the whole phrase? Got to get Trump out. Oh, okay, well, anybody better than Trump, got to get Trump out. Okay. You happy now? Got this horse-tooth heifer up here and this goofball sitting up here talking about. See, they talking at people and talking to them as if their tax dollars don't matter. Never mind that you using taxpayer dollars to take care of these people better than you take care of the citizens in that city. When I tell y'all what you about to see is infuriating if you never saw it before, oh man, you ain't seen nothing. Let's let it continue.
Other members from other states that are here to see for themselves what the migration dynamic is in our nation. And what we saw there with children, families, people that want to work, people that are fleeing violence.
They can go work back home and go build opportunities. That is not our fucking problem. All them countries that they passing to come up here, see, you think about that. Oh, boy, it pisses me off. Do you think every country that they pass to come up here is unstable? Just stop and think about that for a minute while he talking.
People that are fleeing environmental disasters.
Now, you know you heard some brothers and sisters back there talking about the Democrats, and listen to the word he said, they're fleeing. They're fleeing their homelands. They're running away, right? Because they want to work. Well, there's a lot of New Yorkers want to work too. There's a lot of them that want a job, especially in our community. We want jobs, but you worry about them going to work. And looking at the tone, they don't care about the people. They can care less how angry the people is. And I hear people of all nationalities screaming, actually, out there, which is good.
So many stories, heartbreaking stories, manifest itself here. But I think these are folks that will take New York City to a better place. Every crisis presents great opportunity. There's hope and opportunity in this building. So I wanted to thank all my colleagues for coming. As you can see, this is a contentious issue, but we are all Americans, and we all believe in the American dream.
Yes, the Americans for the American dream. Once again, Americans for the American dream. Those people are not Americans there. They're not Americans at all.
The common denominator here, the American dream. We believe in it, and we will fight for it. With that?
Yes, and ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources to cities and municipalities dealing with this issue. The second is to allow for work authorizations so that folks in here can get to work and start supporting themselves as soon as possible.
Okay, so you want them to get work authorizations, and they're going to lowball wages. And what's going to happen is when they lowball those wages, guess what happens to New Yorkers? They're going to start losing their jobs. That's exactly what's going to happen, New Yorkers. So the moment they get work authorizations, be prepared for layoffs.
They are prevented from getting jobs. They are prevented from employment. And that is part of the strain on our public systems. The faster that folks can access the work that they're asking for legally, the better we can solve this problem. And the third is extension of temporary protected status for Venezuelans who are the largest population that are arriving.
Let me stop it right here. Because see, just like earlier, I was talking about some things that's gonna have to change once all this is straightened out. That temporary protected status bullshit, that needs to be taken off the books in every single state in this country. That shit. And see, look, let me tell you something. I'm a problem solver. When I look at problems and I see how they're occurring, what I start thinking about is, hey, you know what? Let's look at all the parameters, all the things, all the logistics that went in place to lead up to this problem. And once we get a handle on this, let's start reverse engineering things to make sure that this never happens again. That TPL, temporary protected status, no, that's got to go. All that shit needs to be changed. Look, I think if enough people stay focused on what's going on in front of their faces, and it'll be the ones that are affected mostly in these cities. Like I said, this isn't going on in Republican states, okay? And in red states, right? It's not. If enough people stay focused on exactly what it's doing to them, they'll say, okay, never again. You better take a page out of the Jewish community's book. Never again. Once this is stopped, it should never be allowed again. All that stuff need to come off the books. I'm going to be offensive yet again. All these people out in Alexandria, Ocasio-Cortez, little horse face helper, whatever name, and this clown next to her, it need to be, y'all get them out of office. Out. You got to go. Nope. Every one of them like you must go. Yes, I said it. See, I don't know about y'all, but I'm ruthless when it comes to solving problems. I really don't have no sympathy or compassion when it comes to things that are presenting a problem and it's harming people in our community. Because see, the people that are going to feel the greater brunt of this is going to be black folks. And see, let me throw something else out here to you. Okay, let's go here with it, because I don't want them in the country at all. I'm just going to be honest. They deport their asses. You go build up your country just like we did. If you just got to have them here, though, why you putting them in already overcrowded urban areas when you got places like Montana, okay? All these wide open spaces out in the Midwest, why you ain't sending them there? Oh, yeah, I'm throwing it out here. Oh, we're going to make it make sense tonight. Let's let it continue.
Submission today. We will continue to fight for the American dream. We will not be bullied. We will fight.
He's telling you he will not be bullied, but basically you are advocating to break the laws of the nation. What they're doing is illegal. Those people are not supposed to be here. They came in illegally. And you're going to have the nerve to stand before taxpaying American citizens talking about who won't be bullied in our American dream. The nerve of these bastards.
For these common sense solutions. TPS for the Venezuelans.
Now, you want to know what TPS means? It means temporary protected status, so they can stay here in this country.
Extension, they already have TPS. Work permits for people that just want to work for their families. Additional funding, yes, for New York City needs more funding so we can get this done. God bless you, America. We love you. All right. What are you guys doing to get additional funding? Thank you. We're going to fight for a supplemental that will include funding and language in it that will guarantee funding for New York City.
Well, seems like some people are not very happy with the Democrats right now. I bet you they didn't expect that, because you saw kind of like their faces like, oh, shoot, man, they're actually pissed off with us. Yeah, because New York City is being ruined, and it's Democrat policies that's just basically doing it. See, those Democrat policies are very, fun to say, and all that little catchphrases and sloganizing, saying, oh, we're a sanctuary city, and oh, we welcome everybody, and okay, fine. And then when everybody comes your way, now you're angry. See, the border states in Texas, and that's where I'm broadcasting from, been dealing with that forever. Our border towns in Texas have been taking these people forever. And these border towns aren't your Houstons or Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. No, it's not that kind of money coming into those cities, right? Those cities on the border are, a lot of poor communities. And those poor communities have been taking in all these people. And those communities have been complaining for a very, very long time. And now, because they have been going to New York, they've been going to Chicago, they've been going to LA, they've been going to all these cities that claim they're a sanctuary city. And now look what happened. So since that's being said, and now you're seeing what the issues are with the policies of the Democrat Party, what are you going to do about it in 2024? What are you going to do? Because if you go out in 2024 and you go vote for those same people that you saw talking to you that has no empathy for you, none. They have no sympathy for you as a New Yorker, as a Chicagoan, no sympathy for any of you. They stick to script. That's what you saw. Stick to script. Forget what the people say. They're supposed to be your constituents in New York. They're supposed to hear what you say, write down and take and give an account for what they do, because they're supposed to be your representative. But these politicians in America, what they think, okay, I'm in office. Yeah, I'm your representative, but I do whatever I want to do. I follow what the party say, not what the people say. You understand? And this 2024 election has to be a referendum on the Democrat Party, because if it's not a referendum on the Democrat Party and the policies of Joe Biden, you're going to get more of that. And what Mayor Eric Adams said about the city will be destroyed is coming to you. I don't see how anybody would not be upset at how they responded to them. They talk about American dream for everybody else. But what about the New Yorkers' American dream, or people in Chicago's American dream? What about theirs? People in Chicago making $135 an hour, but the citizens of Chicago can't get those jobs? I'm talking about the average citizen. You got people in the streets in Chicago right now sleeping on the freaking street. But you got people who didn't even vote for the Democrats. They sleeping in shelters.
And see, everything that Brother Phil is saying, 2 words will remedy that: political punishment. Family, for those of you that are in these places where this is going on, you're going to have to get serious about getting these bastards out of office. In fact, I'm going to tell you what I would do if it was me. Once you show me that you've inflicted such an grievous error on me, a grievous wound, I don't want to negotiate with you no more. Everybody that show up to them city council meetings be like, hey, listen, enjoy your time left. This your last term. To each and every one of these people that Brother Phil is talking about. Okay? Enjoy your time. We don't, it's too late to talk. I'm going to have to show you better than I can tell you. You're going out of office. Because this is treason on any group of citizens that have an elected official that's supposed to serve the people. And then you turn around and flood them. And then when you look back at that press conference, because see, again, we understand why they did it. They're white Hispanics. They want more of their kind over here. They sitting on there talking at people. That was so disrespectful. For those of you that have to work hard to earn your money, that's so disrespectful. Not even trying to ask questions of the people and hear their concerns. Oh, you trying to tell them how, yeah, this is going to be good for you. We doing it for your own good. Okay. Political punishment, family. That's going to be the only answer.
And you remember we covered, they want to put up a tent city in Chicago, while the 76% of the homeless people in Chicago are Black Americans. So they're going to be in the streets, in the snow, trying to find somewhere for shelter. But those other people, they'll have somewhere to stay. That is betrayal of your constituents. That is betrayal of the American people, American, society. That's utter betrayal. No other country would put up with that. None. Why you think they don't go to all those other countries they pass up? Why you think they don't do that? Because they know they can't go to Brazil and do that. They know they can't go to Ecuador and just show up and get all that. They know they can't go to Costa Rica, Panama, and do that. They know that. They for sure can't go to Mexico with it. But they said, let's go to the United States, because those people over there, we know there's a Democrat Party that's running right now, and their policies is to say Screw the American people. It's about our agenda. And when you heard what Ocasio-Cortez said, right? We need to get these people work permits. I promise y'all, in New York, the moment if they can get those work permits to those people, a lot of you not going to have a job. You think it's tough right now with a job? It'll be a lot tougher without one. The way these people are going with this Democrat Party, it's kind of reminding me how the Vietnamese, when they first came to Port Arthur, originally where I'm from, Port Arthur, Texas. When the Vietnamese first came in, I kind of remember that in the 80s. They would stay 9, 10 people to a house. That's what they would do because they couldn't really afford anything. But I remember a Vietnamese family that actually lived right across, in the black community, living right across the street from me in the black community, right? It was, I remember those kids. I mean, used to play with some of those kids, right? And, I would talk to them and find out, about their moms, their dads, all these different family members they would have. They started getting shrimp boats over there. They would start getting the convenience stores or different little things they would do, nail shops, or whatever they would do. And then one by one, a family would move out until the person that actually got the home, they'll stay there. Then that person eventually left the black community, right? And I guess they went on over to Nederland or Port Neches or whatever, where a lot of white people was at in that time period. What's going to happen with this economy, black people, and in the route they're trying to go in the cities, people going to have to start staying like the Vietnamese did, 5, 10 to a house.
Y'all better listen to what Brother Phil is saying. Think about New York. Let's use that for one example. One of the most expensive places to live in the country. Inflation right now in this current state of our economy. Salute to Project Leroy for the cash out. Thank you very much, my brother. Now you think about that. Think about how much worse it's gonna be if people are silly enough to vote for the same people that are responsible for this. If you let them butter you up and sucker you in any city in the country where it's going on, and to putting them back in office, hell, I'm gonna take it a step further. In the places where there's a recall, you better get busy, man. This is an emergency. This is one thing that black people and white people with sense should see eye to eye on. These people have to go. And beyond that, let me tell you how I believe in handling things. When I solve a problem, I don't just fix it, okay? I layer solutions on top of it to make sure, okay, this is never going to happen again. Let me be completely blunt with what I'm saying. Take it how you want to take it. The Democrats need to be punished for some years, especially for our community. But anybody listen to this, I don't care what race you are. If you sick of seeing this country go down the damn toilet bowl, the Democrats got to be punished for this. They've gone too far with this madness. Blank check to Ukraine. Billions of our taxpayer dollars going over there. Yet you got taxpaying Americans, we can't get a dime of it to do nothing that we need done in our communities. I'm going to tell you right now, they need to be punished for some years. And they should be so far removed from gaining political office again with this bullshit. Because see, look, for you black people that are afraid, the Republicans, listen. All of us, especially if you listen to me right now, you survived Donald Trump. You survived. What are you so afraid of? Because it wasn't like this? Does anybody, look, let's put personal feelings to the side for a minute in case I'm talking to somebody that's a hardcore Democrat on the playback. No matter what you think about Donald Trump and the Republicans, do you really think this country would be in this state if Donald Trump had won that election? And had another turn? Do you really think this country would be in this state it's in now? Take your emotions out of it and just it's talk facts. Do you really think all this shit we seeing will be going on right now? Y'all better think deeply about what I'm saying and what Brother Phil is about to tell you. Let's let it continue.
Because that's what the route Democrats want. I'm telling you. Those people get those work permits like they're talking about, and you're going to see a lot of layoffs. Because why would they pay you $15 an hour when they can pay one of them $6 an hour or just minimum wage. What's minimum wage? 7 something an hour? Yeah, okay. They can get away with not paying them minimum wage because they can just pay them under the table as a 1099, right? Those people are not going to complain about not getting paid minimum wage. They're going to keep their mouth shut because what a lot of these corporations do is threaten them. Like, well, if you go complain, I'm going to call ICE. That's what they do to keep their mouth shut. So see a citizen, they can't do that. That's why I got to pay you right. So those people get those work permits, expect layoffs in New York, expect layoffs in Chicago, expect layoffs in LA, wherever they're going to, expect layoffs. They all, listen, y'all talking about capitalism, predatory capitalism is very predatory, right? That's a form of capitalism I think could be good, but unfortunately a lot of people are predators with it, right? And predatory capitalism says this: my greatest cost is labor. So if I can go hire 20,000 people from Venezuela, El Salvador, wherever they come from, and I can pay them all $7 an hour versus paying these Americans $18 an hour, I'm going to fire all the Americans and I'm going to pay these people $7 an hour. I have gained money all the way around. I don't have to pay certain taxes because I'm going to pay them like maybe even a 1099 or something like that, not even a W-2 employee where I'm paying state tax, federal tax, all of that, right? So I'm saving money all over the place as a business owner, and that's how they think, folks. This is how they think. These major corporations who can afford to pay you $20 an hour, they still want those people to do those jobs. You look at even Silicon Valley. They import a lot of East Indians here and a lot of people from China or whatever. They still pay them less than what they would pay an American. They bring them in under, those work visa basically to do jobs in Silicon Valley. It's all so the corporations can get a bag more than what they're getting now, because what they're getting now is not enough. They got to squeeze every booger out of George Washington's nose. You understand? But the greatest threat to that plan is the people. When the people take a stand and say, no, I'm not going to allow you to cause my family to have and be living with 8 to 10 family members just so you can get a bag. No. I know you got these politicians on the payroll. This is what the people have to say. I know this. I know you banks control the politicians. I understand that. You corporations, your Walmarts, your Targets, whoever. I know you donate to these campaigns. I know. And they do your will, whatever that may be. But what y'all gonna have to do, people, this is when I talk about getting registered to vote. You can't really not do nothing about it if you don't register to vote. You need to register to vote and say, okay, Cortez, oh, you siding with him? Oh, Jamal Bowman, I see you back there. You siding with him? And all other Democrats that I see, you see up there with them? You cool with this? Okay, all right. Start writing names down. Like I said, but somebody told me they said they heard my idea, they want to do it, fine, go ahead and do it. I said, y'all need to build a database of politicians that are anti the people and definitely anti-black in a politics, right? Make sure you put down on that website their name, their picture, party affiliation, and when it's time to go and vote, when their term ends. And just like, I remember when Julius Malema in South Africa said, if you're in the EFF, if you're not registered to vote, you're going to get kicked out. Like, what good are you if we can't get out there and vote for anything, right? So this is the time when you talk about voting people out. And also at the same time, voting people out, but having someone from the grassroots that's known in the community, right? Someone who's going to do the right thing, that everybody can vote in a block for this person.
Now, let me add on something to what our good brother Phil is speaking on right here, right? Here's something that I want our people to start thinking in terms of as far as solving this problem in our community. Just like you have power to vote people in a block, that also works in reverse. You have the power to vote people out in a block too. Okay? See, start thinking about it in terms of that. Because see, Far too often, like I said earlier in the broadcast, they want to make the average citizen in this country think you don't have no power. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. We have plenty of power. As long as you seek to act in a way that shows these people that there's going to be political consequences. So just like you vote them in on the block, okay, vote them right back out of the block. Because see, that idea that Brother Phil is talking about, that needs to be implemented nationwide, especially in our community. Take name and inventory everybody that's got all this stuff going on that's a detriment to our community. And white people, you should be doing this too. And be like, oh, okay, no problem. All right, enjoy that, enjoy this turn, pal. We finna get you on the body. You won't have to worry about this no more. This is insanity. I have never seen this country in this much chaos in my life. Never. I don't think there's been a time in history where anything like this has ever occurred, to be honest with you. So now that's saying something. Look at the party that's in control while this is going on. And no, this is not me selling the other party. I'm just speaking on the facts. It's happening under the Democrat administration's watch right now. So this is why we're talking about it. Those of you in these cities, y'all better get ready to take some action, because if you foolish enough to vote blue no matter who, okay, don't complain. Don't complain. You will have shot yourself in the foot. It'll be the equivalent of the trees voting for the axe.
All these, these people, these career politicians, I'm telling you, they don't care about the people. They care about party, not people. If you don't go do something and shake things up in 2024 and put Biden and the Democrats back in there, you're going to lose your city. You will be staying 8 to 10 people to a house. You will be eating beans and rice every day. You're going to be eating maybe the most meat you can get is some slimy ground meat, and everybody knows that people throughout the world don't even want American ground meat because it is made with pink slime. Look it up. There's a lot of things that they sell you in this grocery store that other people in other countries would not want. They don't want American pork. They don't want American beef. They don't want chicken. They don't want no meat coming from America. It's a list of things other countries refuse to take from America. Even certain cereals that they sell here, you can't buy overseas. Or what I've seen from travel is that they would take, let's say, a Sprite. Sprite over here, so much sugar, keep drinking that. You're going to get diabetes. But then when I got a Sprite in Turkey, it had just enough sugar where it was good, but not over, you know what I'm saying? And I tell people, that's the only time I drink maybe a soft drink, which I never drink that mess unless I'm overseas, because they don't like all that sugar. They don't like putting too much salt in things too. Now, the African continent, oh man, they cook very good, you know what I'm saying? But it's not over salty or nothing like that. But y'all have to take a stand. Are we really going to go through some hard times? Because Biden and Kamala is just not up to the task. Their allegiance isn't to the people. It's to the corporations and the other interests and whoever's controlling Biden, because, out of his own mouth, he said he's just following orders. He's going to get in trouble. I mean, he said it many times, right? Like he's working for somebody else. So that's not a good thing. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you have a choice to make in 2024. And I'm going to sit here and see what choice you make. You want to choose economic struggle? You want to choose to start having to live 7, 8, 9, 10 to a home so you don't be on the street? I know all of you want to have your own place, right? I know you don't want to live with a bunch of family members, but you may have to live with family and pay bills together. You may have to, because it's better to do that than be on the streets sleeping, especially a place like New York. It gets snows and everything. And even it don't even matter if you're not in New York and it don't snow. If you're in a place like Houston, it really don't snow every blue moon in May. If you look at those policies, right? Anywhere black people are at, because, now Texas is a Republican state, but Houston is a Democrat city. But we don't have that issue like these other cities. So I can't really mention much about Houston. But what black people is going to do, L.A., the majority of homeless population in just California, period, or even through America, it's black American people. We can't just keep voting 80 to 90% Democrat when the Democrats are literally taking all our tax dollars away and giving it to other people. That's not right. That's not what you voted for. You didn't. Okay, you got Trump out. Fine, you got him out. But look what you got in replacement. This country can't sustain what it's doing, folks. It can't. The breaking point gonna come, and you know what? This is there. When the breaking point come, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Jamal Bowman, and all the other Democrats that's there, they're gonna be fine. They're not gonna suffer what you're suffering. I promise you, they're not gonna suffer that. They're gonna be riding around in their electric cars and going shopping at Whole Foods, anywhere else they want to shop at. And they're not going to deal with the brunt of the problems. They're fine. Trust me, they will be A-OK. Joe Biden, he's going to go back to Delaware and live his life. He's not going to be dealing with no issues, no problems with these people, but you are. See, they're not going to lose their jobs. Okay, if they get voted out, whatever, they're still going to be good. But you better think, ladies and gentlemen, New Yorkers, you better think. Chicagoans, you better think. Look at what's happening. Don't take this serious if you want to. And I really don't want none of this bad to happen to any of you. Trust me. I know how it feels to struggle. I've been there. And that's what inspires me to work hard is I don't want to go back to that. And I don't want to do nothing to cause myself to go back to that either. Nothing in my life I'm going to do to try to sabotage myself. Listen, in my personal life, there's no way I see something's trying to harm me and I'm going to and choose to continue having that in my life to keep harming me. The first thing I'm going to do is get rid of the problem that's harming me and then make things right. And that's what you have to do. So when you vote, you're going to choose either struggle, you're going to choose living in a house, eating only beans and rice and soup, ramen noodles, because you can't afford nothing else because the groceries are too high. Or you could shake things up and say, hey, the first thing we need to do is get, we already know who to vote for to get the people go out of my city. We already know that. I ain't got to really tell you much more than that. At this point, it's not about liking people. It's not. It's about results. And you know good and well the last time, he was getting them out. They was moving out. I guarantee you if New Yorkers saw that going on, they'd be happy. But let me know, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, let me know. I could be completely wrong. Maybe I got the whole thing wrong. Maybe I do. Maybe this is okay to you. Maybe it's okay for the rents to be where it's at. Maybe the evictions, which is through the roof. Maybe you're okay with the Democrat policies that created some of this mess. Just maybe. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm reading too much into it. You may feel this is a necessary sacrifice for the greater good so everybody else can have an American dream while you suffer. Maybe like I said, I could be wrong. You let me know. Like I said, I've been wrong about things in my life. I'm not perfect. I'm not. But you let me know. But if I'm not wrong, then you better get yourself registered to vote. And you better get out there, like the people say, get your booty to the poll, right? Get your booty to the polls and get them Democrats out. If not, they gonna have a job, they gonna have a place to stay, and you either gonna be on the streets or you gonna be living 10-12 to a house eating beans and rice and ramen noodles. It's your choice.
Now, I couldn't put it no better than Brother Field stated it himself right there. We're going to talk solutions in closing tonight. As I said, and as Brother Field said, vote the problem out. First step. Second step. No more sanctuary cities. There must be hard legislation to get that revoked. That needs to be done nationwide, but definitely those of you that are seeing the experience of what we just reviewed here tonight, that should be one of your main priorities. No more temporary protected status. That's got to go out with the sanctuary city. No more. In other words, you want to set this up where this can never happen again, because see, when Donald Trump was talking about build the wall, he was talking about a physical wall. I got one better for you. Before the physical wall get built, We need a policy wall in place that stops this bullshit from ever happening anywhere else in the country again. A policy wall, okay? And I don't care what race you are. You listen to this, you better pay attention. There is no mathematical way that this can keep going. In conjunction with all the blank check writing Jim Crow Joe in his little Ukraine project, treating Zelensky like his little pet stripper with our taxpayer dollars, hell no. And you want to talk about we can't get reparations? Family, I can't make it no more plain than that. I hope everybody got something from the broadcast tonight. Thank you and salute to everybody that donated and contributed to the broadcast. Okay. And wherever you are, look for like minds to get on code to come up with solutions so that you can get a remedy to this problem. Stop being so afraid of Trump or the Republicans or whoever, because you got to start thinking in terms of business and what's better for you and your family. Okay. So with that said, salute to everybody. Take care of yourselves. Black first. And I will see you all in future content.